Levi Aron is the Brooklyn man accused of killing and dismembering 8-year-old Libby Kletsky. This happened in July. Kletsky will now pursue an insanity defense. We heard that from his lawyers yesterday.
Yeah, he confessed to killing the 8-year-old boy back in July. At least that's what police say. Now his defense team unveiled their new strategy after a court hearing yesterday. They say they can prove that police pressured Aron to confess, and he's not guilty by reason of insanity. Joining us right now, Aron's defense attorneys, Howard Greenberg and Jennifer McCann. Thank you so much for coming on Good Day New York.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
Yesterday, outside of court, you said he's either evil or insane. How did you come up with these two adjectives?
Well, let's put it this way. This is a very simple case. He's either evil or he's crazy, and we intend to prove he's not responsible by reason of insanity. I mean, it's very straightforward. And there's any number of good reasons to believe that he's crazy.
Jennifer McCann, this is a PDF print-up of the confession. It's very detailed. It summarizes. This is from Aron Levy. First of all, do you maintain that this was coerced?
We maintain that it was police overreaching, that he was fed the specific words to use. He's a man with a low education, seems to be a simple IQ level, and there are police terms such as approximately in there. There are numerous additions added for somebody who's telling a story that's unlikely to have happened, and there are major facts that have come out to light in the case, such as the medication of the boy that's clearly absent in that confession because the police didn't know at the time.
Was the confession videotaped?
There was a second videotaped confession later.
And you saw it?
Yes.
Was there any sign, at least on the videotape, of coercion?
It's hard to give you an answer on that. There's a lot of references to the paper in that videotape, and the paper is not in front of him. And that oral confession was only 1 hour after this confession, yet somehow they weren't able to videotape this one. That's very odd that they had the equipment.
Mr. Greenberg, I mean, can't you argue that anybody who kills somebody is crazy? Either you're crazy in the moment or you're just plain crazy.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have to do that in this case. First of all, take a look at the nature of the act itself. You don't need to know any more than that to determine that that was done by a crazy person.
Why? What points to that? This is a man who some people say, you know, he knew exactly what he was doing. He dismembered this 8-year-old boy and put his feet in the refrigerator.
Well, we'll just disagree. The act itself tells me that he's crazy. Also, if you look at him, my impression of him is that he's virtually catatonic. As, for example, yesterday in the court appearance, sat virtually catatonic for a full half hour. Ms.
McCann, in the confession, there are words like, first of all, I understand to prove insanity, you have to say the client doesn't understand right from wrong.
No,
is that generally correct?
The legal standard is that the defendant didn't understand the nature and consequences of his actions at the time that he committed them.
Will you admit that in this confession? I mean, there is a suggestion that he was aware of the enormity of what was taking place. When he brings the boy home, he talks about, I was in a panic from the flyers when he found out the community was looking for this boy. Once he killed, according to the confession, once he smothered him with the towel, he panicked again what to do with the boy. That word panicked is a key one.
This came from the police. Two things that I have to say about the confession are as follows. First of all, it's a transparent attempt to make him look like a rational actor. That's number one. And it's also a transparent attempt to try to get around the insanity defense. Everybody, including those cops, knew that was coming.
Just look at the last line of the confession. I understand that this act may have been wrong. I may be wrong.
I understand this may be wrong, and I'm sorry for the hurt I've caused. Signed, Levi Aron.
There's only two types of defendants: those that understand what they did was wrong, and those who don't. Those who understand that they did what was wrong, they wouldn't say maybe. They would just say, I apologize, I know it was wrong. And those who didn't, or those who don't understand that they were wrong, wouldn't have addressed the question in the first place.
But people in the community are outraged at this insanity defense, that you want an insanity defense. They call it outrageous. Duff Hyken says it's outrageous. Yeah. This is a man who's held jobs in the community. He's held jobs, in fact, outside of the community.
They should be outraged about what happened to this beautiful child. But to be outraged at the insanity defense is the height of hypocrisy. I don't expect anything more.
You just joined the case, Ms. McCann.
From Duff Hyken.
Ms. McCann, you've been attached to the case for a while,
yes.
And you've been jeered, you've been taunted in the courtroom and outside the courthouse. How are you holding up?
Oh, perfectly fine. This is what I do for a living. I do criminal cases. I've been handling not quite as high profile as these cases, but I've been doing similar cases in Long Island for a while. This is fine.
Finally, real quick, are you looking for a change of venue? I heard that
We have made a
where do you
change
want to go?
Well, we would be looking for either Bronx or Suffolk County, just something a little bit separate from Brooklyn without making it very expensive for the county to change the venue. We're trying to make it very affordable for the state to still try the case, but still respecting the fact that Brooklyn is so up in arms on this situation that perhaps finding a jury pool that isn't tainted is going to be very difficult for the defendant.
I have a slightly different take on it. Really doesn't matter in the end to me where we try this case. By the end, the jury won't even need the expert testimony to decide that Levi Aron is crazy.
Mr. Greenberg, Ms. McCann, thank you.
Thank you.